Welcome, children, to yet another session of chapter number 15 of science textbook, that is improvement in food resources. In our previous session, we studied about poultry farming, in which we learned about few common varieties of poultry fowls and their requirements. We also discussed about broilers and layers and some common viral, bacterial and fungal diseases in them. In short, we studied about poultry farming management in detail. In today's session, we will study about pisciculture or fish farming. We all know that fish is a cheap and very good source of animal protein for our food. Fish production includes the finned true fishes as well as shellfishes such as prawn and molluscs. In this slide you can see the picture of prawns and fishes, which shows that fish production industry include both type of aquatic animals, fish as well as shellfish, which are also known as false fishes, that include prawns and mollusks. So let us begin with introduction of pisciculture. The breeding, rearing and transplantation of fish by artificial means is called as pisciculture. In other words, it is also called as fish farming. Pisciculture is the principal form of aquaculture, while other methods may fall under mariculture. Enclosures like tanks are used to produce fish for commercial purposes and called fish farming. Here in this slide you can see the structure of tanks which are used for commercial purposes. The branch of farming which involves rearing of fish and prawn on a commercial basis is also known as pisciculture. That is one of other definition of this pisciculture, and this includes culturing of edible fishes, ornamental fishes and prawns. Ornamental means the fishes which are used for your aquariums and for decorative purposes, that all fishes comes under ornamental fishes. The examples of edible fishes are gourami, carpe, rohu and katla. And examples of ornamental fishes are goldfish, angle and molly. Examples of prawn are naran and karra. Fish and other seafoods are the source of animal proteins and are consumed by a large section of our population. Fish liver oil is particularly very rich in vitamin A and vitamin D, and it has a great medicinal value. Some marine fishes of high economic value are also farmed in seawater. This includes finned fishes like mullets. These mullets are shown here in this slide, and bhetki, which is also shown here, and pearl spots shellfishes such as prawns. There are certain varieties of edible fishes too. Here in this slide you can see sardines diagram is there. The first diagram is of sardine, and it is also known as chala and mathi fish in Malayalam language. And the other side you can see a diagram of mackerel fish, which is also known as ayala, and the third diagram is of Pacific bluefin tuna fish. So all these three types of fishes are edible fishes. There are some types of edible shellfishes also. These can be prawns and molluscans. Here in this slide again you can see different types of fishes, that is katla fish, rohu fish, mrigal fish, common carp, silverfish and grass carp. The types of fish farming can be divided into different types on the basis of nature of source of fishes. These fish farming can also be divided into different parts on the basis of nature of water sources, means in which type of water these fishes lives. and there can also be a basis of type of fishes which are used for fish farming. On the basis of nature of sources of fishes, fish farming can be of two types, that is capture fish farming or culture fish farming. On the basis of nature of water sources, fish farming can be divided into two parts again, that is marine fish farming and inland fish farming. On the basis of types of fishes which are involved in this process, fish farming can be divided into two categories, that is fin fisheries and shell fisheries. Now let us discuss about capture fisheries. In this slide you can see that so many people are capturing fishes from reservoirs, water reservoirs, with the help of net. So here the fishes are captured or caught directly from their natural resources. In culture fisheries, the fishes are cultured in a particular area which is bounded by certain nets or certain wire-like structure, so that the fishes can be grown and captured in specific area of the water reservoir. On the basis of nature of water sources, these fisheries can be of two types: marine fisheries. In this, the fish production is in marine or sea water, whereas in case of inland fisheries, fish production takes place in fresh water system and brackish water system like estuaries and lagoons, where sea water get mixed with the fresh water. Marine fisheries is very important here, children, because India's marine fishery resources include 7,500 kilometers of coastline and the deep seas beyond it. Marine fishes are of various types like pompet, mackerel, tuna, sardines, Bombay duck, hilsa, salmon, eel, etc. These are caught by various methods. These methods can be fishing nets, with the help of fishing nets, with the help of fishing boats, and with the help of eco sounders, and sometimes in advanced technology we can also use satellites for capturing these marine fisheries. Here in this slide you can see that fishes are being caught by people with the help of net, and they are catching it on a vessel, big ships, etc. Here in this system you can see that there is a satellite which is involved in this, and with the help of satellite signaling, fishes are being captured. So yield are increased by locating large school of fishes in open sea using satellite or eco sounders. So here some satellite or eco sounders are used to just locate the school of fish underwater. Inland fisheries include fisheries which can be done in canals, ponds and other freshwater reservoirs, rivers and brackish water reservoirs. Main freshwater fish culture systems can be divided into two parts, that is composite fish culture or polyculture and paddy cum fish culture. So here is an example of a paddy cum fish culture, where you can see that fishes can be cultured along with the paddy field. In case of composite fish culture, a combination of 5 or 6 species of fishes are used in a single fish pond. These fishes have different food habits and do not compete with each other for their food. These fishes utilize food which is available in the different parts of the pond. Example, katla is a surface feeder. It eats its food from the surface of water body, whereas rohu fish feeds in the middle part of a water body. So it is known as column feeder. Mrigal and common carp feed at the bottom, and grass carp and silver carp feed on aquatic plants in the pond. So here you can see that there are so many fishes which feed or which take their food from the different regions of a water body. Some at the top, some in the middle part, some at the base. So here is one problem in this composite fish culture, that is Many of these fishes breed only during the monsoon season. Other major problem in fish farming is the lack of availability of good quality seeds. To overcome this problem, these fishes are bred in different ponds using hormonal stimulation. Hormonal stimulation is one scientific process with which, by introduction of some of the hormones, these fishes are allowed to produce their seeds. This has ensured the supply of fish seed in desired quantities. Here in this slide, you can see composite fish culture where different varieties of fishes are growing in same water reservoir. Here you can see that katla, rohu and mrigal fishes are living in same water reservoir. Now, on the basis of types of fishes, fishes can be divided into fin fisheries and shell fisheries. So, fin fisheries include the fisheries in which capturing and management of true fishes takes place. The true fishes are those fishes which have fins on their body. Shell fishes are actually called as false fishes, and these include capturing and management of crustaceans, which include prawns and crabs into it, molluscans, which include oysters and mussels, and seaweeds. These animals do not have fins on their body, that is why they are called as false fishes or shell fishes. Oysters are also cultivated for the pearls they make, like mullets, bhetki and pearl spots. So here in this you can see oysters are there, prawns are there and fishes are there in this diagram. Now let us discuss about mariculture. Culture of marine fishes, shellfishes and seaweeds is called as mariculture. As marine fishes stocks are getting depleted, the demand for more fish can only be met by mariculture. Variety of fishes are so many. There are certain indigenous freshwater fishes. These can be katla, rohu or mrigal. Exotic fishes of freshwater bodies can be fish carp, common carp, grass carp, and marine fishes can be Bombay duck and pompet. Now let us conclude what we have done in today's session. In the beginning of session, we started the session with the introduction of fish farming. We studied that fish production includes the fin, true fishes as well as shell fishes such as prawns and molluscans, and there are two ways of obtaining fishes. One is from natural resources, which can be done by capture fishing, and the other way is artificial way, which can be achieved by culture fisheries. Then we studied about marine fisheries, in which the fisheries can be done in marine water or sea water, where we studied about the various varieties of fishes which grow there in marine water, and we studied that marine water fisheries include pompet, mackerel, tuna, sardine and Bombay duck, and marine fish are caught using many kinds of fishing nets from fishing boats, and yields are increased by locating large school of fishes in a open sea using satellite or echo sounders. We also studied about some marine fishes of high economic value that are also farmed in seawater. This include fin fishes like mullets, bhetki and pearl spots, shellfishes such as prawns, mussels, oysters, etc. Then we studied about inland fisheries, in which we studied that inland fisheries is also known as freshwater fisheries, where the freshwater sources, canal, ponds, reservoirs and rivers are used to culture these fishes. Brackish water resources, where seawater and freshwater mix together, such as estuaries and lagoons, are also important for fish reservoirs. While capture fishing is also done in such inland water bodies, the yield is not very high in these inland water bodies. So most fish production from these resources is through aquaculture. Fish culture is sometimes done in combination with rice crop so that the fish are grown in water in the paddy field. More intensive fish farming can be done in composite fish culture, and both local and imported fish species are used in such types of water systems, where composite system can be formed by using two different types of fishes. In such composite systems, combination of various fishes can also be seen, in which some fishes are top feeders, some are middle feeders, some are bottom feeders. So now children, there are some questions for you. How are fishes obtained? The first question is, how are fishes obtained? And the next question is, what are the advantages of composite fish culture?